Some celebs pull up loco. You know we up next, pull up mobos. They gon' be there on repeat, they like, oh no. Where's the mix it up, let's take a photo now. But for now, I'm loco.
Yeah. Big up yourself, everyone, man. Big up the whole Metric community. A little lunchtime update for you lot. Let me just show you what's going on. Like I said, the live streams are back on Saturday. I'm back with the live streams. But for now, just be in the comments. You understand? So yeah, let's get straight into it, man. You know we got loads to talk about. Bam. Roma bid for Sancho. Jaden, Malik, Freedom, Sancho. Roma's apparently bidded for him now. That's Paul Joyce. Paul Joyce is kind of reliable still, but he's mostly for like the Merseyside news. So it'll be like Everton, Liverpool, etc. And he's come out and just done an article for the Times, and he said, yo, Roma's made a bid for Sancho, but then that's the bid broken down. It's a 1 year loan, but his contract runs out next year. So how does that help us in any sort of way? You taking him on a loan, it doesn't really make no sense for us, unless we're going to say, you know what, take him on a loan for the whole season, but pay all of his wages or something. And then that way we kind of get our money back of what we're going to sell him for. Because we've dropped our price. It was 25 million. It's been dropped now to 17 or something. So we want to get rid of him any means necessary. And then it goes on to say Roma made bid. So this is the article basically. Made bid to sign Sancho on loan. Betis want to sign Anthony on loan. We've known that for ages. Man United want a permanent deal for both. Get out of here. We ain't got time for these games. So that's the situation with that. You got to remember as well that as soon as the transfer window ends, the transfer window for, I think, Turkish clubs and Saudi ends a bit later. So there's still opportunity for them to go somewhere else. Then we got the Baleba and Wharton stuff. Baleba and Wharton is what Man United want to pair in that little midfield now, apparently. I don't know. I don't know how true this is. It's come from Team Talk, and it says Brighton are bracing for an imminent Man United move for Carlos Baleba. A bid for 115 million, blah, 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 would tempt them. And then Team Talk goes on to say Man United's midfield master plan is to pair Baleba with Wharton, and the hope is one will join this summer, the other in 2026. So buy one this summer, next summer, buy another one. Wharton and Baleba. That would be a good midfield pairing, but I'm more intrigued to see Baleba and Mainu, because it could be alike. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens with that. And then it basically goes on to say from the Athletic that the spending combined with talks of a possible move for Baleba is greater than it was anticipated at the start. So at the start, we weren't coming with this. We wasn't some buy to sell thing, sell to buy, sorry. We're going to sell players then buy. But now, because they're putting all of this pressure on and we're buying everyone we can, we're not trying to give Ruben no excuse. So we want him to have a strong start to the campaign. No matter, even though we've got strong teams that we're playing we got the hardest 5 teams or something like that. The hardest start of the season anyway. That's what Opta said. So they're basically just trying to say we're going to give him all the tools necessary, get everyone that we can get, and there's no excuse. Go for it type of thing. So we'll see what happens with that. That's Baleba and Wharton today's stuff about we want them both together, which is intriguing. We've had this about Baleba. This was more or less yesterday, and it was Man United are pushing to reach an agreement with Brighton for Carlos Baleba, who has already a deal until 2030 with Brighton, of course, and they got option to extend it for a year as well. That's from Nico Shearer. I can't vouch for him. I don't know this geezer. It's just one of the Man United aggregate pages saying it. So obviously I'm going to come and relate to you, but I can't vouch for him. I don't know him like that. Intermediaries have told Man United that Brighton require a total package of 100 million for Carlos Baleba. The total fee is not expected in an upfront payment. So this is another source, Rich Frey. Rich Frey is probably the most reliable on this list. And he's saying a total package of 100 million. But then Ben Jacobs will come out and say, they ain't told no one a price. Brighton like blind bids. They want you to go in there and just bid without saying anything. So I don't know. It's all a weird one, isn't it? You know what I mean? We don't know what's going on. Then we got Miguel Delaney. He's coming out and saying Brighton want 120 million for Baleba. Man United are currently figuring out how to construct a payment package, with one considering to offer initial 80 million with the rest made up of add-ons. So Miguel Delaney saying 120. Nico Shearer, he didn't even say a price. He just said we're pushing to reach an agreement. And then we had Rich Frey saying 100 million as a total package. Who knows? But it's good to see that there's still links coming out with this Baleba stuff. Fabrizio spoke the other day and he said, it ain't done yet type of thing. We're going to see what happens and etc. Like, we're really into him and there's no plan B. It's just Baleba. So we'll see what happens with that one. Then we've got Collyer. Collier's leaving on loan. It's very, very close. Toby Collier is in advanced talks to join West Bromwich on a season loan. Laurie Whitwell broke the news. Fabrizio tapped in as he does. He says, look, Toby Collier on the verge of leaving Manchester United to join West Bromwich on loan. The agreement is imminent. You understand? So it's very close. And then he goes on to say, literally about 20 minutes later, Toby Collier's loan move to West Brom will not include any buy option clause. Man United trust him for the future. West Brom are set to win the race after Hull City tried in recent weeks. Hull City was close, but then West Brom just took over. And obviously, we don't want to sell him because we can see something in him, but we just want to send him out. So obviously, that's a pathway to get the midfielder in now. As soon as Collyer goes, that's our pathway to get the midfielder in. And then next season, Collyer can come back. Casemiro goes. It might be that. Or it could be someone else goes out in midfield and then we go and buy someone else as well. This Adam Wharton thing and Baleba, who knows? But for now, we don't want we don't want to sell him type of thing. So that's the stuff on Collyer. We had this about Rasmus. This is last night. Rasmus is starting to open the door for a departure, but he's not yet made a final decision. The player still has decided to fight, but United have been clear with him and they want him to leave. And he knows now. He's been benched for the last 2-3 games. Fiorentina, he didn't even play. Everton, he was benched. He knows he's not going to get no minutes. It's a World Cup year. I know Denmark ain't got a lot of strikers, but come on. He wants to go out there and do something. So now he's opening the door finally because he was begging for his life. I want to stay. I want to stay. He's finally opened the door. So we'll see what happens, man. And then it goes on to say Rasmus Højlund is still not giving any final decision in leaving. So he hasn't given his final decision, but we'll see. It's not expected to happen tomorrow or Friday. Milan are still talking about the loan deal, etc. Blah, blah, blah. So we'll see what happens with that. It's not an imminent thing, but it's due to happen before it ends. And I doubt he plays against Arsenal. I doubt he plays the next game against Fulham. So he's going to know this is a myth. And then it just goes on to say from Rob Dawson, tough situation for Højlund. Feels he's worked hard to get a move to Man United, his dream club, and doesn't want to give up without a fight. But he wants regular games, and he might not get that with obviously Benjamin Sesko's arriving now. So, yeah, it's up to you, Højlund, what you want to do. It seems like he's finally considering it now because he's opening the doors, and that's from Fabrizio. So we'll see what happens with that, man. Then we have Sekou Kone, big up the guy, man. He got injured yesterday. The game fully got abandoned. Fully. That's how serious it was. He had a head injury. He got stretchered off the pitch. And then they still didn't start it. And then obviously we had an update from Man United later on, about 10 o'clock, saying Sekou Kone is conscious, stable, and communicating with the United's medical team. He has been taken to hospital as a precaution for further checks. So he's cool, innit? You understand? They're going to do further checks in the hospital, but he should be all right. So I hope he's all right anyway. I hope everything's worked out good, even with the further checks. It's not nothing serious. He's meant to be a baller. You know what I mean? Like, everyone was calling for him to come into the midfield, but we're just giving him time with the under-21s, and he's gone and had a serious injury now. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he's all good. And then we got Man United will travel to Grimsby Town in the second round of Carabao Cup. That's crazy, you know. I think Carabao Cup usually starts round 3 or round 4 usually for us. You get it, but I think obviously because of where we finished as well, it's crazy. We've got to do these early rounds. So Grimsby, yeah, I don't know what day it's going to be on, but that's the second round. That's who we're playing. Ornstein spoke about the Baleba stuff, and he just basically said Brighton haven't put a price on Baleba yet. So all them articles I showed you, are they making it up? Are they jumping the gun? Who knows? Ornstein said they ain't put a price on them yet. And when they do give them a price, if it's too high for Man United, they'll go away. They're not going to stick around and try to do some soft bids. There's no point. And if Fabrizio Romano goes on to say Man United are now giving priority to Carlos Baleba, trying to understand the feasibility of the deal. So they want to know, is the price realistic or not? I know you don't want to sell him, but what are you saying? How much do you want for him? If you want 100 million, we can do something. If you want 120, just let us know now and we'll walk away. So that's basically the update, little lunchtime thing of everything that happened last night and this morning. I'll be back on later and I'll give you another update then. And like I said, the live streams will be back on Saturday. So don't worry. We're still going to connect. You know what I mean? But yeah, hit the likes, my peoples. Get in the comments. That's literally a 10-minute update. Let me know what you think about these little 10-minute updates. Do you like them? Because I know some people can't watch the live streams, etc. Some people at work. So I've tried to switch it up a bit. Let me know. Peace out, my peoples.
What's some celebs pull up local? You know we are next, pull up mobos. They gon' be there on repeat, they like, oh no. Where's the mix it up, let's take a photo now. But for now, I'm local. For now, I'm preserving beat, I'm more